First of all, on a point from a lively game, and the unbeaten run continues.
Yeah, I thought the lads showed me glimpses of things that haven't yet. It's well documented that I've spoke about our away record this year. Prior to me coming in, I think it was very, very poor. So coming to a club like this, we knew what was going to come up against, and I was disappointed with probably our first half performance. I thought we wasn't brave enough. And I don't think we affected the game in the last third, but probably a little bit more braver in the second half, and after we'd scored the penalty, probably had a couple of chances to maybe nick it, but you've got to give credit to us as a unit. We defended against a team that like to put the ball in the box. They're effective at it, they're good at it, and they've won many a game here. And I've been here plenty of times this season already to watch them. So it was good building blocks for us, and happy to go away with a point now. That's it's a good win, at home against Woking, and a good point against a good Lincoln side.
You know Matt Reid well. How did you plan to deal with him this afternoon?
Well, it's I go back a long way with Matt from his days 10 years back now, and we've had a lovely journey together. And I knew what he's capable of. Like I say, I've been here a number of times this season to watch him. And a lot of their game goes through Matt. We needed to defend the first ball. More importantly, we needed to defend the second one. But Matt does what he does best today, and he's caused us all no end of problems. With his presence and what he has got more than anything, he's got a massive skill factor which goes unnoticed a few times. But he scored two very, very good goals against us today. Two that I'm quite disappointed with, because we worked in the latter end of the week on the first ball but mainly on the second ball. I think throughout the amount of ball that came into our box from throws, from free kicks, I thought we dealt with it quite well, considering the percentage of ball that did come into our box.
You must be delighted the timing and the nature of the goal straight after that, Jason Walker.
Yeah, I think with this group, how could I say, mentally there was in a little bit of a lull. I think subconsciously you can go into away games not believing that you can win or get a good point. And we've just spoke about, since I've been here, about laying foundations, and there were strong foundations last week in an ugly, horrible FA Trophy game where we came away with a 1-0 win. We've laid more foundations today. 1,000,001 things we can improve on to where, in terms of where I want us to be. But the boys are working hard. They're trying to take on board. The little things I'm trying to get across to them. Shape looked good at times, especially under stress. And we've scored two goals, good goals away from home. And we've created one or two other chances in the second half where probably on another day Cookie's probably dispatched them. But he's allowed to have an off day. He's scored enough goals this season. So we're happy with a point. And probably would have took it before the game, knowing how Lincoln play, the intensity of their game, and their desire after their defeat at Woking to pick up 3 points.
I don't want to lead you into temptation, but can we talk about the management of the game from the officials maybe? There seemed to be an awful lot of yellow cards handed out, and of course then it culminated in the red. How did you see that?
Well, in games like this, I think the referee has to be really, really strong, and I think he really has to nip things in the bud. He had a game where I think he affected both sides. Decisions good and bad. I think there was situations where what he's missed for both sides once again. It's not been one-sided. But at the end of the day, he's human, and I think they're under an awful lot of pressure to make super decisions all of the time. But on a couple of occasions, I think common sense prevailed. But there's no argument with us about the sending off. I think it was a little bit reckless, with Nick. I'm not blaming the kid. I think he's young, he's learning his trade, but he needs to stop being a little bit too impetuous when sometimes he just needs to sort of stay on his feet and understand he's probably had a bad touch. So look, I don't want to be too hard on referees. I don't like talking about them. They've got the hardest job in football, and they're sometimes given rules and regs by the powers to be in ivory towers that are sometimes beyond what I feel they need to need to deal with.
What's the latest on the injuries, Paul? Danny Livesey, Neil Ashton, key players, and you must be itching to get them back in the lineup.
Well, I think that's what's more pleasing. I walked into this football club just in around sort of just before the deadline finished, and I inherited quite a massive injury list, so it'd be lovely to get them back. Livs is on the bench today, hopefully full training next week. Really sort of pushing him now to get in that 11. Ash will have a good week's training, hopefully be pushing again for next week. And these are massive players that we've been without for a number of weeks now, and taking away Mel's, who's just come back. You look at the injury list we've had, so that's why it's so pleasing that we've had 3 games now go unbeaten. And I'm happy for the supporters. Once again, they've travelled the total north length of the country to support the team today. And although I think we could have been a little bit more articulate with the ball and played a little bit more, I think they've looked at the group that has worked extremely hard for them and give every ounce of sweat and blood for them today. So pleased for them. They've supported us brilliantly, and like I say, we build into another tough game next week.
And does the future look for you, not only rosy for the new year, but does it look as though you could be bringing 1 or 2 new faces in? Are there any particular areas of the team you want to strengthen?
Look, I've got to take this club forward. I want to take this club forward. I've got a desire to do that. I've got to make some big decisions on the football club, and to do that, I've got to bring some fresh players in. So I want the squad to have a little bit more strength in depth to cater for the injury suspensions. So there will be movement in January, but that's not taking into account that these boys have been brilliant, and I want them fighting for a place, but this squad needs strengthening in depth.
Okay, Paul Cox, thanks so much.
Okay, thank you.
So there we are, Barrow manager Paul Cox, happy with a point from a difficult game.